Okay, we're continuing to cover this fire that erupted just less than an hour ago along I-15 at Cove Fort or near Cove Fort. South of Cove Fort is where the fire is. Traffic shut down north of Cove Fort. The images you're seeing are just dramatic. We've been recording some images from UDOT cameras, and as we were talking with Jason Curry with the Utah Division of Forestry before the break, he mentioned it's the Utah Highway Patrol and the Department of Public Safety who makes the decision on whether to close or open those roads. We have David Barrett, Sergeant with Utah Highway Patrol, on the phone with us right now. Sergeant, thanks for joining us. What can you tell us about what you know about how this happened and where we stand in terms of traffic?
So we had a truck pulling a trailer lose control coming down the hill. The trailer got whipping and tipped over, obviously causing sparks and hot items to go off in the weeds. That's what started the fire. The trailer itself all went down in the weeds. So that was the cause of the fire, and that was about 10 minutes to 11, so roughly, hour and a half ago. And because of the dry conditions, that fire just quickly moved up the hill into the wild country and is burning out of control at this time. The reason that we have the road closed is for public safety and because we have tankers trying to fight the fire, and they cannot do that if traffic is flowing. So that's why we had to shut down. We've actually got both north and southbound shut down right now.
All right, and Sergeant, are you do you work in that area? Are you around the area where this fire is?
Yes, I am actively working the scene. I'm the supervisor for the Beaver area.
So what are you seeing down there, and what's the visibility like?
At times, depending on which direction the wind's blowing, it's clear to zero, and at other times it's not bad. So we kept traffic flowing as long as we could until the fire actually jumped the southbound lanes and is in the median area at this time. And we're trying to keep it from going up the east side, which could be catastrophic as far as a wildfire goes. And
we understand initially it was southbound lanes closed and northbound lanes are now closed as well?
That is correct.
Okay. A freeway usually makes a heck of a fire break, and so it's got to be quite a strong fire to blow over. Are you seeing really strong winds there right now?
The winds are probably about 10 miles an hour, so not super bad, but bad enough that it did jump the southbound lane. So it doesn't take much wind to cause something hot to go across, and as dry as everything is, it just starts up really easily.
It's your troopers who respond, of course, to an accident or a situation like this vehicle fire. Are your folks okay, and is the driver of that truck okay?
Yes, everybody's fine. We've had no injuries, no issues other than just traffic that we're dealing with. We've got a lot of help from the Beaver County Sheriff's Office and the local DOT sheds, and they're all manning road closures at I-70 and back at Beaver, and we're also doing one at U-20 to route traffic around at this time.
Yeah, I was just thinking there are not, in that part of Utah is like the part of the state where there aren't a whole lot of options going north to south. If there's somebody sitting in, north of there or south of there who's thinking, well, I was going to drive north or south today, what would you tell them?
Well, you can take the west side, which goes basically from Tooele all the way to Cedar City. That's a good alternate route. Or you can take 89. You can come down I-15 to I-70 and then jump up to 89 and take 89 south toward Panguitch.
Okay.
And you can get back on I-15 just south of, you take the U-20 just south of Panguitch back over to I-15, and that will get you around the fire.
Okay, so there are options, and I've driven both those ways, and they're beautiful options, but slower. From your experience and seeing this fire and seeing the response, any idea how long this is going to be closed down?
With the dry conditions, it's impossible to tell. I think if we can get our resources here and get on it, we should be able to at least get the freeway open back up here in the next hour or so. But that's a total guess. Everything is so dry, and it just depends on the weeds. the winds, the conditions, and obviously the resources that we can direct toward this fire.
And supervising that region, I'm sure you know, even beyond your law enforcement duties, you're aware of other emergency service availability in that area. What are the resources, and how far do they have to come to fight something this big?
So we've got the Beaver Fire Department here. They were the first responders, and they immediately called for help from what's called Color Country Fire. The Wildland, BLM, and Forest Service firefighters are arriving at this time, and also their air tankers and air units are in the area as well. So we do have assets and resources allocated to the fire. I don't know for sure how many, because I'm on a closure slightly away from the fire, but they have done a good job of getting those resources here quickly and getting on it.
All right. Sergeant David Barrett, just on behalf of our viewers, thank you for taking this time to let us all know what's going on. That's a significant thing that's kind of bottlenecking the state. So thank you so much for your time.
I appreciate it. Thanks.